Now at 8:30 on WKYT this morning, one man is behind bars after leading police on a wild chase in Lexington. We'll have details coming up. Plus, police are still trying to figure out how a woman's body ended up in the woods in Lincoln County. And motorcyclists once again got together to celebrate the life of a fallen police officer. That's all coming up on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Michelle Chamberlain. It's October 2nd. I had to think about that for a minute. Meteorologist Micah Harris is in this morning for Mike Linden. Good morning, Micah.
Good morning. Yeah, it's crazy to think about. We're less than 90 days away from Christmas. Unbelievable. We're looking outside, seeing that low pressure system just to the north of us. Finally, it's ejecting northbound. So we're getting it out of here, but the problem is it's still close by enough to throw off some cloud cover and also give us that chance to rain later on today. It's 61 right now in Rowan County. Good morning to you guys. Go into London, Corbin area, work your way back towards Somerset. Watch out for a little patchy fog, but other than that, it's a pretty good looking start today with 50s and 60s outside. A little cool down south. We go through your day noon to about 6 p.m. That's your best bet at maybe seeing a passing shower or two. And that's that I-64 corridor and southbound. That's your best bet. But how many more days do we have with those chances of rain in there? I'm going to show you that in your work week coming up.
Thank you, Micah. New this morning, we've learned the name of a man who police say is a suspect in a number of Lexington burglaries. Police arrested Brandon Roberts last night on Paris Pike. Police say Roberts was spotted by an off-duty officer right in the middle of a burglary. WKYT's Lauren Miner is live at police headquarters with more information. Good morning, Lauren.
Good morning, Michelle. Brandon Roberts is facing charges of second-degree burglary and fleeing police. Sergeant Brian Jarrett of the Lexington Police Department was off duty and driving home with his family when he noticed a Jeep that looked like the one used in several burglaries in the Lexington area.
When I was on my way home with my family tonight, I saw it backed into a house that I knew no one was living there. When I saw the red Jeep, I recognized it to be the theft suspects that we're looking for, and I saw them carrying out appliances from the house. That's when I started to follow it. I was on the phone with 911 trying to get the guys involved.
Police say when Sergeant Jarrett approached the men, they drove off and led police on a chase. During the chase, the Jeep they were driving crashed into a car that had a man, woman, and child inside. Police say they are all expected to be okay. After the crash, Roberts and the other man in the car took off on foot. Roberts was arrested and the other suspect managed to get away. Police have not yet released a description of that suspect. Reporting live in Lexington, Lauren Miner, WKYT.
New this morning, police are investigating after a car crashed into a house in Lexington. It happened just after 5 a.m. on Winthrop Drive, which is just off of Nicholasville Road. Police say there were no injuries in the crash, and police do not know why the driver crashed. Police in Lincoln County are still trying to figure out how a woman's body ended up in the woods. A group riding four-wheelers found the body on West Skyline Drive near Stanford. Police tell us the woman is in her mid-20s, but they won't say much more. The man who found her tells us she was naked and had something tied around her neck. One woman we spoke with who lives in the area says she's worried it was her daughter.
Where's my daughter? Where's my daughter? I mean, because she was stayed out last night with her friends, so that was my first thought. Where's my child?
She was able to find her daughter, and Kentucky State Police is handling the investigation. They tell us her body is being taken to Frankfort for an autopsy today. We're learning more about a motorcycle crash that killed a man in Georgetown. The Scott County coroner has identified that man as Johnny May Jr. The coroner says May had just left from work at Tractor Supply when he hit an oily spot on the road at Oxford and Connector. The coroner says he died instantly. Investigators say speed was not a factor in the crash. The search continues this morning for a hit-and-run driver who killed a teenager in Louisville. Relatives say 15-year-old Trey Monroe Royce was walking to a friend's house to play basketball when a driver hit and killed him and drove away. Anyone with information is asked to contact Louisville police. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are again trading barbs, now with the support of some recently leaked material. Brooke Selva Braga has the latest on campaign 2016.
At a rally of thousands of supporters Saturday night in Pennsylvania, Donald Trump brought attention to leaked recordings of Hillary Clinton speaking about young voters at a February fundraiser.
A new audio tape shows her demeaning and mocking Bernie Sanders and all of his supporters.
In the recording, Clinton sympathizes with young voters' frustrations, but also says,
Some are new to politics completely. They're children of the Great Recession, and they are living in their parents' basement.
A leaked document also exposed Trump's tax history, which he's refused to disclose himself. The New York Times received a copy of his 1995 tax return showing he claimed a nearly $916 million loss, allowing him to avoid paying income tax for up to 18 years. The Times verified the documents with Trump's former tax accountant. And with 38 days until the election, Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson revealed that hackers have gained access to some state voting systems and have taken steps to potentially attack many others. Johnson said 21 states have turned to his department for help. They have not found evidence of any manipulation of voting information. Clinton returns to the trail Monday in Ohio. Trump will be in Colorado. Brooke Silva-Braga for CBS News, New York.
Motorcyclists came together in Bardstown for the 4th annual Officer Jason Ellis Polka Run. Now the event raises money for the Old Kentucky Home FOP Lodge 43. Ellis was shot and killed in May of 2013, and his murder still is not solved. Organizers are hoping this fundraiser might generate new leads in the case.
Just respect for law enforcement. You know, it's just a thing. I know the guys here at Joe Hill that put it on, but it just still is a respect for the law enforcement and all they do.
Ellis left behind a wife and 2 children. Now let's take a look at what's going on today in Central Kentucky. The Lexington Fire Department is hosting the 2016 Fire Prevention Festival today. The festival starts at 2 o'clock this afternoon at Masterson Station Park, and the festival is free for everyone. You can check out fire truck rides, fire safety stations, and even meet Casey the fire dog. The festival's goal is to make people aware of fire safety. Fire Prevention Week starts on October 9th. And there will be a walk to remember today here in Lexington. The walk will be held at the Arboretum starting at 4 o'clock this afternoon. UK hospital staff will lead families who have lost babies to illnesses. Families will plant a tree in their honor, along with a bronze plaque of the child. There will also be a balloon release and a poetry reading. Your time now is 8:37 this morning. Coming up on WKYT this morning, a new device could change the lives for millions of people who suffer from type 1 diabetes. That's coming up after Micah's forecast.
That upper level low finally getting on out of here. It's been pesky the past few days, but now it's starting to move northbound off into the Great Lakes. That's still going to bring us the chance of rain today, but it's after today that it looks so good. I'll have that in your 7-day coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Looking on Defender Radar Network early this morning, and we're looking good. I don't see any problems whatsoever. Maybe a sprinkle before noontime, but for the most part, the chances of rain actually come a little bit later on today. I'll show you a timeline here in just a few minutes. Take you hour by hour. We're 61 degrees in Moorhead. Frankfort coming in at 62 degrees. The reason why we're in 60s and then 50s down south, because down south, we still have some peaks of sunshine here and there, but we had clearing of the skies for at least a few hours overnight, and that allowed us to drop our temperature. So we're about at 8 to 10 degree swing from south to north this morning. Watch out for a patchy fog spot down toward the southern zones too. Fire Prevention Festival, we talked about it earlier. Small chance of rain, right around 70 degrees. The best chance is going to be noon to about 6 p.m., which this event goes 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. So if your kiddos have a nice little nap time there early in the mornings, say 10, 11, 12, well, you can get up and knock it out. But if it's later on, I know my little man takes naps early in the afternoon. You can still knock it out because it goes until 6 p.m. Fire trucks, you got petting zoos. It's going to be an awesome event there for the kiddos. You can get them out today. Just don't forget an umbrella just because we do have that chance. Watch this. Let's go hour by hour, take you through the morning. Like I said, morning, mainly dry, only a slight chance of rain. There's noontime, not much going on, right? But look at that 2 to 6 p.m. time for that festival. You still have the Dance Blue 5K going on at Commonwealth Stadium there at noon as well. So noon doesn't look that bad. It's just a little bit after that we start to see a few showers spark up. No thunderstorms in the forecast for today, but I'd say that 64 corridor and southbound is your best bet. Not your only chance, but your best chance to actually see a passing shower or two. And then I'll take you off into the evening hours where it starts to fade away. And once that fades away, it's long gone for many days in store. Jump off toward tomorrow morning, kicking off your work week. Not much going on in the 50s. Kids going off to the bus stop, no problems. You head out to work. Coming home, I still don't see any issues for tomorrow. So all in all, it's a pretty good forecast kicking off your work week. On your Monday, let's check out your 7-day forecast. Here's your view on the screen. We're 70 degrees today. We'll stay in the 70s the rest of the work week and maybe maybe even touching 80 degrees there by Wednesday, Thursday, and then on Friday into Saturday, here comes another cold front, dropping our temperatures big time, 61 for a high next Saturday. But the good news here is we're getting this ugly weather out of the way. I've enjoyed the rain, I'm not going to lie. I really have enjoyed the rain. We needed it. But now some dry weather comes, nice weather, 70s, looks good.
And I was starting to worry that winter was coming early or something.
Right.
It's like, I'm not ready for this cold weather to come in here.
We don't want it yet.
Thank you, Micah. The FDA has just approved a new device that could change the lives of millions of people living with type 1 diabetes. Dr. Max Gomez has more on an artificial pancreas.
Katie Helm was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when she was just 5 years old. In the 21 years since, keeping her blood sugar within a narrow, normal range has been a constant struggle.
I'm constantly evaluating my situations. Where am I going? What am I doing? Is that going to affect my blood sugar levels?
For most diabetics, that means a difficult, never-ending routine of checking blood sugar, watching what they eat, and calculating insulin doses. But Katie took part in a clinical trial of an innovative device that's been dubbed an artificial pancreas.
This is my sugar level at the moment.
It combines a continuous glucose monitor that reads your blood sugar every 5 minutes and then sends the information wirelessly to an insulin pump that releases the precise amount of insulin automatically. The key is a computer algorithm that does those calculations faster and more accurately than any patient can.
It looks at the numbers from a moment-to-moment basis and will proactively predict what's going to happen next and make clinical decisions that cannot be done at that rate.
Derek Rapp is the CEO of JDRF International, which funded much of the development of the artificial pancreas.
It means peace of mind for them and for their loved ones.
Katie showed me how her device helps keep her blood sugar in very tight control, critical to preventing the terrible complications of diabetes. But it's also given her peace of mind.
It's really changed my life. It's made managing my type 1 diabetes considerably easier.
Dr. Max Gomez, CBS News, New York.
Good morning, I'm Bill Bryant, and we're glad you're on WKYT. Well, now that we're into October, voters are paying closer attention to the candidates running for office in next month's general election. Democrat Nancy Jo Kemper acknowledges she is in an uphill battle as she tries to unseat Republican Congressman Andy Barr. I talked with her on a range of issues for this weekend's Kentucky Newsmakers. National security is a major issue in the world right now, and for our country, with ISIS and other groups threatening the homeland. How does America get at that? How much effort would and money and resources would you be willing to put forth? It is expensive militarily, the intelligence that is required, but we have to do it, right?
Absolutely. Somewhat wit the other day said something about, it's an absolutely impossible situation, but it's almost impossible to figure out what to do about what's impossible, and especially when your allies are impossible as well. And so we've got this terrible conundrum. I'm not sure what the solution's going to be. We've tried a number of routes. A lot of them are failing. I think that every time there are ugly, racist, anti-Islamic statements here in the United States that defame our wonderful Muslim neighbors that live here in the United States, that just heightens the hostility to the United States rather than seeing us as a potential peacemaker and friend. The problem is deeply rooted. It goes, and this is another gift that I think I bring as a potential candidate for Congress. I know something about religion and the dynamic impact that religion has now on world affairs. And until the Shia and the Sunnis can begin to resolve their problems, then we are going to continue to see one little group after another pop up through that Middle East. We made a mess after World War II through the Balfour decisions when we created those nations and false borders that made no sense, and it's just going to continue to be there. I think actually international aid is going to be more helpful than anything else.
Coal, there's no coal mine in the 6th District, but coal was a major issue in the defeat of Democratic Congressman Ben Chandler in 2012 by Andy Barr, Congressman now, who made an issue of it. Is that an issue in this election?
I don't sense that it is. I think that many of our friends in eastern Kentucky are aware that when it costs $75 to mine a ton of coal out of our existing mines, and only $11 or $12 from Wyoming or Colorado, and when natural gas is so cheap, that a lot of the coal issue is gone. What we've lost is, though, care and concern about coal miners. And you can see the Republicans have not supported the follow-through on the agreements made long ago with the coal miners regarding their pensions and their health insurance plan.
Now, you can catch my full interview with Kemper on Kentucky Newsmakers. We'll repeat the program this morning at 10 over on the CW Lexington. Set your DVR or catch it then. And we'll be interviewing Congressman Barr later this month. We'll have all the latest news, weather, and traffic bright and early this week on WKYT This Morning. Kentucky Morning Start right here. I'm Bill Bryant, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to WKYT. A space pioneer has his eyes set on a new mission. The man behind Tesla and SpaceX has unveiled an ambitious plan to take hundreds of people to Mars.
And the trip would take between 3 and 5 months. Carter Evans has the story.
This is what the first manned mission to Mars could look like in the universe of Elon Musk.
What I try to achieve here is to make Mars seem possible.
The founder of Tesla and SpaceX says it could happen in about a decade.
And liftoff.
Ambitious for a space company that has yet to launch a manned mission at all. The spaceships would carry at least 100 passengers, each paying around $200,000.
I think the first journeys to Mars are going to be really very dangerous. Risk of fatality will be high. There's just no way around it.
This month's explosion of a SpaceX rocket is a reminder of the significant consequences of failure.
He's lost 2 Falcon 9 rockets in the last 15 months, and there's a sense that the aerospace community would like to see him master that before talking about sending people to Mars. A lot of the cost estimates that he made today are based on reusable launch technology, but they haven't been able to refly those rockets.
It could cost about $10 billion to get the first ship off the ground.
Even if the ultimate goal of this doesn't pan out, the products that come out of this trying to attempt this will push us along in a direction that will benefit everybody.
Musk is hoping for a public-private partnership to pay for the project. In the meantime, he's prepared to put his own money where his mouth is.
I really don't have any other motivation except to be able to make the biggest contribution I can to making life multiplanetary.
Carter Evans, Los Angeles.
So we would like to share a special programming alert from CBS. At 9 o'clock this morning, a special edition of the NFL Today airs on CBS, followed by live coverage from London of the Indianapolis-Jacksonville game. Jane Pauley premieres as the new host of CBS Sunday Morning next Sunday when it returns right here on WKYT. And Mike Harris is here this morning because Mike Linden got married to producer Rachel Hood.
Don't be alarmed like, wait, it's Monday? I'm late for work. No, Mike Linden, got married last night. It was a beautiful wedding.
So beautiful.
Fantastic time. Very happy for them too. Rachel and Mike, congratulations. And their family's in town too to celebrate that. So it was a fun time meeting them as well. Let's talk about the weather, see what's going on outside. And we're looking at a small chance of rain today, mainly that I-64 corridor and southbound. That doesn't mean that's the only area, but that's the best bet. Northern zones are still at 20%. So you can obviously see there's not a good chance of rain today. The timing on that is going to be 12 noontime to roughly 6 p.m. That's your best bet. So any events, activities, just trying to get the kids out the door, just know you might have to take that umbrella with you, just in case.
Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Have a great Sunday and a wonderful week.